Well, hey everybody. Just wanted to take a minute and really just kind of dig in a little bit on God, obviously, and also just the ways that we are like God. And I'm only taking one example here today, but I wanted to take a good look at it. And we're going to be going to the book of First John to find a very simple statement. Uh, so here we go. First John chapter 3. I'm going to go ahead and look at verse 20. So First John 3:20 says this: even if we feel guilty, God is greater than our feelings, and he knows everything. That's really wanted to come at. I mean, the greater context of this verse that it's relevant to is this idea that what we do obviously bears an effect on our feelings, how we feel before God. Is saying if we're loving people well, then our actions are going to prove that, for example. But the point is that God understands. He knows whether what we're doing is born out of love for somebody or whether it's some other ulterior motive. But even pulling it out of that context, this statement stands up by itself. God knows everything. And so theologians like to put a fancy term on this. It's called the omniscience of God, or God is omniscient. And so basically all it means that he knows everything, that there's not a thing he doesn't know, that he knows past, present, and future. He knows the possibilities for the future. And matter of fact, there's even a story in the Old Testament about David, King David, or I guess he would have been. He was not yet King David. He was just young David being hunted by King Saul, and he went and he hid in a city, and basically he prayed to God and asked, Saul, I heard Saul's on the way to come get me from the city, but if is Saul coming here, and if he is, then will the city hand me over to him to be killed? And so God tells him, yes, Saul knows you're here. He is on his way, and the people will hand you over to King Saul. And so David leaves. Obviously, that future didn't happen. God still knew what would happen if David stayed around. So God knows the possibilities of the future. He knows what will happen. Which I guess possible reality will come into existence because of what we've chosen to do. But he knows all that. He knows our past. He knows every inch of the past. And he knows the present. He knows what I'm thinking. He knows what you're thinking. He knows what friends over across the country are doing, thinking, everything. He just knows it all. But as awesome as it is to know that, to know every bit of what science has learned and more that science has yet to learn, he knows all that too. But as awesome as all that is, God himself knows himself. And he's the only one who can. God fully knows and understands himself. And God is an infinite God. And so only an infinite God could understand the infinite. You and I, we know stuff. That's the way that we're like him. We have knowledge, but we don't know everything. We can learn a lot. We can know a lot about a certain subject. We can focus in and be a specialist on whatever it is we want to specialize in. And we can know that intimately as our technology, science, and abilities give us. But we still don't know everything. We're not even close. I don't have any idea what's going on in your head, and you don't have any clue what's going on in mine. So we know, but we don't know everything. That's the way we're made in God's image. God's image means that we are not exactly like him, but there's ways we're similar, that we show off who he is. And that's that we know things, not as much as he knows, obviously, because he knows it all. And but we still know. So I just thought that was pretty neat. Good thing to know. A nice way to be able to look up and say, yeah, I'm just like my dad. So So, guys, I hope this helps you. Hope it gives you a little food for thought through the day. Remember also that I love you, and I'll see you next time. Bye.